Hey, welcome back to Everyday Economics, a podcast that helps you learn about the economic world happening around you every day. I'm your host, Chris Krug, president of the 501c3 nonprofit Franklin News Foundation. Everyday Economics is a production of America's Talking Network. You can check out all of our great podcasts at americastalking.com. To support Everyday Economics, please make your tax-deductible charitable contribution by clicking the link in the show description. We are recording this episode on Friday, March 10th. Jobs report numbers are out. Dr. Orphe Divounguy, PhD economist, is with me. It looks like the economy, per the Department of Labor, has added 310,000 jobs. I'm still like listening to a couple of episodes that we produced a few weeks back, waiting for corrections to the record on January and December. And there hasn't been a whole lot of remodeling of those numbers, so maybe they're going to stand. But the number that came out just this morning, 310,000 added. What do you make of that?
Well, there's been a small correction that we went from. It's tiny, when 517 in January, new jobs added on net to 504,000. Not a big correction, but still a downward correction. And I expect they're going to correct that number again. And again, this jobs report, not too surprising to me. I knew the number was going to come down from January, and we've talked about that on the show. And it did. It came down. It didn't come down as much as most economists expected. I think consensus expectation was about 225,000, and other organizations had it at around 300, 310, so it came close. Look, it doesn't really matter. It shows that the economy is still pretty strong in the sense that employers are still adding jobs, right? Adding to payrolls. But we're seeing that wage growth is easing. Wage growth is moderating. And wage growth has actually decreased slightly over the past month. And so that's a positive. That's all positive. Again, it's going to help a lot of people who thought, who were in camp disinflation, feel good about the fact that the economy is still slowing, right? It's still slowing. It's likely going to reflect in future consumer price inflation numbers. The economy is slowing. So yeah, it's going to be a positive. I think overall the market's going to see this as a positive. You're not going to see the surge in yields that you saw in January. And so yeah, we got a little ways to go, but things are going in the right direction. People who want to work have jobs, but wage growth is subsiding somewhat. And so inflation, consumer price inflation, is also likely to ease.
For the benefit of people that are just trying to make sense of the economy, which is really kind of the core of our audience, right? I mean, if you work, at the Federal Reserve, or, if you have a PhD in economics and you're listening to us, we appreciate having you. But our real intention here is to talk to average people who just want to understand what's going on in the world of economics in terms they can understand. So jobs report comes out. That number, we would view that as a positive number, ultimately, right? I mean, more people working is a good thing under normal circumstances in an economy like this. But at the same time, these jobs are being added, people are also seeing data that says that unemployment claims are up. So a different category, different measurement here, and that you still have people that are on unemployment, and you have new people that are joining unemployment. So at the same time, these two things, we have to hold them up and consider them for what they are, right? I mean, jobs numbers up, but the unemployment numbers up also.
Exactly. So the unemployment rate goes up. The unemployment rate goes up for multiple reasons. First, if more people join the labor force and are looking for work, the unemployment rate is going to go up. Second, if people are leaving their jobs, either because they're quitting and so they are temporarily unemployed, or because they're let go and they're laid off, right? They're laid off, then the unemployment rate is also going to go up. But ultimately, the unemployment claims number doesn't go up until people actually decide to go and claim unemployment benefits. And so, there's an idea that's floating out there that, if you're a tech worker that got let go, and you've been at your job for a long time, you may not necessarily go and claim unemployment. You may be able to find a job rather quickly in another industry, especially given that even though hiring is slowed, the labor market is still pretty good. I mean, businesses are still hiring pretty rapidly. And so, you have a labor market that's adding 311,000 jobs in 1 month. That's a pretty good labor market. It definitely helps the case for soft landing. Why? Because, look, jobs and hours worked are basically a proxy for output. When we build economic models, we say, look, economic output is a combination of labor, which is jobs and hours worked, right? You take them together, you multiply them, and what you get per person, you get total hours worked, right? And you take that and you add that to productivity. And what you have is hours worked and productivity make up output, real output, everything that's produced within an economy. And so if employment is growing, then even holding hours and productivity constant, GDP grows. So we're producing more stuff. And so that's a good thing.
I think that's a terrific explanation, and I think we call it good right there. For Orphe Divounguy, it's been Chris Krug. You've been listening to Everyday Economics. Subscribe to Everyday Economics and other terrific podcasts at americastalking.com.